From the moment it roared into the skies, the Eurofighter Typhoon captured the imaginations of pilots and aviation enthusiasts worldwide. This multi-role fighter stands out not just for its sleek form and raw power, but also for the unique collaboration that gave birth to it. Developed by a consortium of European aerospace giants, Airbus, BAE Systems, and Leonardo, this remarkable aircraft represents the shared ambitions of nations committed to pushing technological and strategic boundaries. Even its name, Typhoon, evokes an unstoppable force, a reference to the powerful storms known for their fierce and unpredictable nature. Yet behind the head-turning maneuvers and record-breaking speeds, there lies a long story of political negotiations, engineering breakthroughs, and changing global priorities. The Typhoon's tale begins in the early 1980s, when Europe envisioned a fighter that could dominate the skies in an era still under the looming shadow of the Cold War. Early visions and a collaborative dream. In 1983, the Future European Fighter Aircraft Program brought together the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. Initially, they sought a short takeoff and landing fighter that could excel beyond visual range. Collaborative programs were not new. These same European powers had previously joined forces to create the Panavia Tornado. However, balancing the needs and design philosophies of multiple air forces proved challenging. Disagreements soon emerged. France pursued a carrier-capable fighter, while the British, Germans, and Italians had different objectives. Eventually, France departed to develop the Dassault Rafale independently. Meanwhile, Germany, Italy, and the UK pressed on, and Spain later rejoined. Despite these early stumbles, the new program, now known as the Eurofighter, began to take shape. Engineers drew heavily on existing research, notably from the British Aerospace EAP, Experimental Aircraft Program. On August 6, 1986, a technology demonstrator known as the EAP took to the skies, showcasing the promise of a canard-delta wing configuration that balanced maneuverability, speed, and handling. Political hurdles and financial dilemmas. As the 1980s gave way to the early 1990s, the Cold War's sudden end impacted military budgets across Europe. The Soviet threat receded, prompting debates over whether such a costly advanced fighter remained necessary. Germany faced significant financial pressures due to reunification, which led some leaders to question continued involvement in the Eurofighter program. Nonetheless, steep penalties for withdrawing, along with the danger of losing thousands of aerospace jobs, kept each country on board. A major sticking point was work-share. Each partner demanded a slice of the production and design corresponding to the number of aircraft they planned to buy. Negotiations frequently stalled, causing schedule delays and cost overruns. In the end, a compromise emerged that allowed production to move forward. Even so, persistent concerns about whether Europe's air forces still needed a brand new air superiority jet lingered. The Typhoon's advanced design and proven performance in flight tests helped secure the program's survival. A revolution in design. By 1994, the first Eurofighter prototype was ready for its maiden flight from Manching Airfield in Bavaria, Germany. Observers were immediately struck by its radical shape, featuring delta wings blended into canards near the cockpit. This layout delivered improved lift, reduced drag, and crisp control during daring maneuvers. Unlike aircraft that rely on stable aerodynamics, the Typhoon was intentionally designed to be slightly unstable. A digital, fly-by-wire system provides continuous corrections, giving pilots a nimble machine that can outmaneuver many older jets. Another striking feature is the Typhoon's chin intake, positioned below the nose to conceal the front of the engines from enemy radar. Engineers also incorporated advanced materials. Carbon fiber composites and other lightweight elements account for most of the airframe, saving weight and adding strength. Radar-absorbent coatings were selectively applied to reduce the radar cross-section from head-on angles. Inside the cockpit, the pilot finds a clutter-free environment. Gone are the traditional dials and gauges, replaced by color displays and a wide head-up display for essential flight data. A voice command system offers hands-free functionality for certain tasks. Helmet-mounted sights allow the pilot to look at a target, lock on, and fire a missile, drastically cutting response times in air combat. This synergy of aerodynamic finesse and digital wizardry has made the Typhoon a favorite among fighter pilots. Engines that roar. 2 Eurojet EJ200 turbofans power the Typhoon. Each engine outputs up to 13,500 pounds of thrust in dry power and more than 20,000 pounds with afterburners. The Typhoon can fly comfortably at Mach 1.5 without afterburners, a capability known as supercruise. When it does pour on the burners, it can surpass Mach 2, roaring past many rivals in raw top speed. Such performance combined with state-of-the-art avionics means the Typhoon climbs to over 55,000 feet, well above many civilian airliners. The EJ200 engine itself is a collaborative feat. Rolls-Royce, Germany's MTU Aero engines, Italy's Avio, and Spain's ITP joined forces to craft a power plant offering remarkable thrust-to-weight ratios while still allowing room for future upgrades. Some teams even investigated thrust-vectoring nozzles, which pivot engine exhaust to boost agility. Though it hasn't yet become standard, the technology highlights the Typhoon's potential for continuous evolution. Multi-role evolution. Originally envisioned as a pure air superiority fighter, the Typhoon's mission gradually expanded. Modern battlefields often demand an aircraft flexible enough to engage in ground strikes, reconnaissance, and maritime operations. Engineers upgraded sensors and software to integrate a range of precision-guided bombs and missiles, including Storm Shadow cruise missiles and anti-ship munitions. These modifications opened a new chapter in the Typhoon's story. Over Libya in 2011, British and Italian Typhoons flew combat missions against ground targets, a watershed moment proving the aircraft's strike potential. Pilots praised the Typhoon's robust agility, which let them evade anti-aircraft threats while delivering precision weapons. Later, Typhoons shouldered air defense roles across Europe, patrolling the skies of nations requiring protection under NATO's umbrella. Global operators and their stories. Austria joined the Typhoon family in the early 2000s, signing on for 18 jets before revising the deal to 15. This marked a leap in Austrian air defenses, enabling the Luftstreitkräfte to retire aging Soviet-era platforms and shift to a modern intercept capability. Although controversies arose over alleged corruption and cost spikes, the Austrian Typhoons officially began quick reaction alert duties in 2008, patrolling mountainous regions with ease. Germany's Luftwaffe replaced its venerable East German MiG-29s and West German F-4 Phantom IIs with the Typhoon. The first aircraft arrived in 2003. Despite early program skepticism, German squadrons discovered the Typhoon's advanced sensors and superlative flight envelope were game changers. Luftwaffe pilots have scrambled on NATO air policing missions, intercepting and escorting foreign jets near Alliance airspace. Given Germany's central role in Europe, these intercepts and readiness checks have become routine. Italy. The Italian Aeronautica Militare was among the first to declare the Typhoon combat ready. In 2009, Italian Typhoons provided air policing for Albania. 2 years later, they flew ground strikes in Libya, demonstrating Italy's confidence in the platform. Italian pilots often highlight the Typhoon's advanced cockpit systems, praising how the digital interface reduces workload and improves situational awareness. Kuwait is one of the newer adopters, signing a contract in 2016 for 28 jets. These aircraft incorporate the cutting-edge Captor-E AESA radar that promises to boost detection range and target tracking precision. Delivery began around the dawn of the 2020s. Kuwait's investment underscores the Typhoon's appeal in regions seeking to modernize air forces rapidly. Oman ordered 12 Typhoons in late 2012, seeking to enhance its air power alongside the existing F-16 fleet. The first Omani Typhoons arrived mid-2017, carrying advanced targeting pods and flexible weapon loadouts, well suited for border security and maritime roles in the Gulf region. Qatar, like Kuwait, turned to the Typhoon to augment its modernizing military. After evaluating other contenders, Qatar ordered 24 jets. Deliveries began in the early 2020s, strengthening the country's aerial capabilities. By partnering with the UK, Qatari pilots undergo training on advanced Typhoon simulators, ensuring they make full use of the fighter's potential in a high-tech environment. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was a major export success, purchasing 72 Typhoons and deploying them in various capacities, including missions over Yemen. Despite controversies, these aircraft added a powerful dimension to Saudi air operations. Typhoons replaced older jets and also operated alongside the F-15 and Tornado, reflecting the Royal Saudi Air Force's intent to diversify its fighter fleet. Spain. Spain is both a manufacturing partner and an operator, with its air and space force employing Typhoons for homeland defense. Spanish squadrons also perform NATO Quick Reaction Alert in the Baltic region and across Europe. Spanish Typhoons have occasionally flown with Allied forces, showcasing the aircraft's interoperability. The Spanish industry's involvement in wing construction attests to the program's multinational roots. United Kingdom. The Royal Air Force was central to the Typhoon's origins. Early development planes bore British aerospace livery and tested new flight control software. The RAF's first operational squadron, No. 3 Fighter Squadron, began QRA duties in 2007. Typhoons have since replaced the Tornado F-3 in air defense roles, protecting British airspace from unidentified aircraft. During the 2011 Libya campaign, RAF Typhoons carried out not just patrols but also ground attack missions. They remain a linchpin of Britain's air power, with upgrades regularly introduced to keep pace with evolving threats. Sensor magic, radar, and IRST, the Typhoon's agility is only half the story. The other half is its suite of sensors and avionics, orchestrated by advanced onboard computers. At the heart of its sensor package lies the Euroradar Captor, a highly capable multi-mode radar. The baseline, known as Captor M, features a mechanically scanned array and has been refined over the years for increased accuracy, range, and reliability. More recent Typhoons receive Captor E, an ESA radar that uses an electronic scanning method to track multiple targets faster and more efficiently. This modern radar has a swiveling mechanism, allowing a broader field of view than traditional ESA arrays. When combined with the Pirate infrared search and track system, which detects the heat signatures of aircraft at great distances, the Typhoon becomes extremely hard to evade. Passive tracking means the Typhoon can locate targets without emitting radar signals, preserving stealth. Defensive aids and electronic warfare. Staying alive in hostile airspace demands top-tier defensive gear. The Typhoon's Praetorian Defensive Aid Subsystem, DAS, includes radar warning receivers, laser warners in some operators, missile approach warnings, electronic countermeasures, chaff, flares, and even a towed radar decoy in certain configurations. These layered defenses let the pilot detect and evade surface-to-air missiles, hostile fighters, or other threats. Developers constantly upgrade DAS to match new threats and integrate advanced jamming technologies. In addition, engineers designed ways to fuse data from multiple sensors. The attack and identification system merges radar returns, infrared signals, offboard data, and pilot inputs for a comprehensive tactical picture. If the pilot's radar is turned off for stealth, the Typhoon's IRST can still detect an adversary. If allied platforms like AWACS detect a threat, that information merges seamlessly into the Typhoon's displays. Arming the beast. For air-to-air combat, the Typhoon commonly carries short-range heat-seeking missiles like ASRAAM or IRST, along with beyond visual range missiles such as the AIM-120 AMRAAM or the Meteor. Its main gun, a 27mm Mauser BK-27, delivers a powerful punch at close range. In air policing missions, most Typhoons typically go up with a combination of short-range and radar-guided missiles. In ground attack roles, the Typhoon can launch precision bombs, including the 1,000-pound Paveway 2 or the 500-pound Paveway 4, often guided by the Lightning targeting pod. Some operators integrate larger cruise missiles like Storm Shadow and Taurus, enabling the Typhoon to strike distant, heavily defended targets. These capabilities evolved incrementally, reflecting the shift from a purely air superiority mindset to a flexible, multi-role approach. Production tranches and upgrades. To manage costs and evolving technologies, production has been split into tranches. Tranche 1 provided initial operational aircraft. Tranche 2 introduced improvements in mission computers and software to support air-to-ground weapons. Tranche 3 further enhanced networking, sensor fusion, and the airframe's capacity for advanced upgrades. Even after delivery, each operator can add or omit weapons based on national requirements. The United Kingdom has heavily invested in programs like Project Centurion to integrate the Meteor, Storm Shadow, and Brimstone missiles. Germany, Italy, and Spain pursue their own upgrade paths, focusing on additional weapons, sensors, or electronic warfare systems. Some newly built Typhoons incorporate the Captor-E-ESA radar from the outset, while older ones may receive retrofits. Controversy, cost, and critique. As with many advanced defense projects, the Typhoon's development encountered criticism. Cost overruns, delays, and changing political priorities tested everyone's resolve. Opponents argued that stealthier jets like the American F-22 or F-35 overshadowed the Typhoon. Proponents countered that the Eurofighter boasted lower maintenance costs, unmatched agility, and a high thrust-to-weight ratio, making it well-suited for European defense missions. A recurring challenge was explaining why so many advanced features were necessary in a post-Cold War context. Over time, however, the Typhoon proved its worth in real operations, from the Middle East to the Baltic states. Notably, advanced digital technology and incremental updates mean it can stay current more easily than older aircraft reliant on outdated hardware. The future of the Typhoon. Its story continues to unfold. Many operators foresee the Typhoon in frontline service well into the 2040s, bridging the gap before sixth-generation fighters become widespread. Meanwhile, research into thrust vectoring, advanced data links, and enhanced survivability remains ongoing. With Europe's appetite for shared defense ventures likely to grow, the Typhoon stands as a shining example of what multinational cooperation can achieve. Some partner nations, including Germany and Spain, are pursuing the next-generation fighter as part of the Future Combat Air System. The UK, Italy, and Japan are developing the Global Combat Air Program. Even so, these cutting-edge endeavors won't completely replace the Typhoon overnight. Most operators intend to fly it side by side with new generation platforms, ensuring a layered defense approach. When future historians look back on this era, the Eurofighter Typhoon may well be remembered as a definitive example of synergy between multiple nations, setting new standards for performance, adaptability, and cross-border collaboration. A soaring legacy. After decades of political wrangling, engineering triumphs, operational tests, and combat deployments, the Eurofighter Typhoon remains at the forefront of international air power. Each time it takes off, we glimpse a fusion of artistry and technology. Carbon fiber wings, computerized flight systems, and meticulously balanced aerodynamics. It is, in many ways, a glimpse of tomorrow's aircraft design philosophy, born from the challenges of yesterday. With an ever-evolving arsenal of weapons, continuous improvements in stealth and electronics, and proven real-world performance, the Typhoon carries on the legacy of its European co-creators. Whether safeguarding airspace, striking ground targets, or conducting intercepts at staggering altitudes, this fighter has earned a place in aviation lore. Indeed, the Typhoon's ability to adapt to shifting missions reflects the timeless principle that successful aircraft are rarely static. They grow and transform with every new challenge. From the vantage point of modern defense, the Eurofighter Typhoon stands tall as a hallmark of European unity and technological prowess. It has shown that, even in an era marked by budget cuts and evolving threats, collaboration can spark remarkable achievements. And as it soars through the clouds at double the speed of sound, it reminds us that daring, teamwork, and innovation can truly reshape the future of flight. The Eurofighter Typhoon's story is far from over. Its presence in skies across multiple continents ensures that this multi-role marvel will continue shaping military aviation for decades. If you're fascinated by lesser-known World War II battles or the modern evolution of military tech, stay with us. Hit that subscribe button, because our journey into groundbreaking aircraft and untold history is only just beginning.